I mean, obviously for them it was for them it was a very emotional game. You saw. Sorry, my voice is gone. You saw by all their players that went out, injured and cramping up and little niggling muscle injuries towards the end that they had spent everything that they had in this game. So from that standpoint, I'm pleased that we were able to keep them at bay for the majority of the game. Once we got the lead, I thought we played a little better in the second half. Finding Andy Rose to get out of the back rather than Ozzy, because they were really cranking down on Ozzy, making it difficult for us to play through him. And so then Andy got more involved. We got forward. We got a good goal to take the lead. But then, then we just gave away too many corner kicks and gave them a little bit of dominance in the game. And when you give away that many corners, eventually you get chances. We were lucky on the one where they hit the post as well, and then we had a good chance at the end where we could almost steal it. So at the end of the day, I think 1-1 is a fair result. For our team, and it's good that we still, were able to procure a point from the standpoint of the Cascadia Cup. That's still all open for us right now, so it's good.
Can you talk a little bit about Freddie's goal?
I mean, it was just a great goal. At first, when he hit it, I actually thought it had gone over the goal. But it's, I mean, just the individual ability to turn and hit that, and volley it, takes a lot of skill.
Did you get a good look at the yellow on Eddie, and you talked a little bit about having to go into a very big game next week without him?
It's probably a yellow card, so is maybe Martinez. How Songo doesn't get a yellow, though, for his tackle on Evans is beyond me. But it's, it's just something that we have to deal with when you're sitting on four. There's a chance you're going to get a fifth. And so obviously has a fifth, and he won't be available for that game.
You feel like you're pretty well equipped to weather that without Eddie?
I mean, obviously, the hopes are to have Rosales back and Tifford back, and I think that helps our team as well. I think those two guys were missing, especially when you're playing on a small field and a team, is very active defensively, where they're getting, 9 guys behind the ball oftentimes. So you need those kind of guys who have that ability to break down the team.
You could talk about Ozzy's defensive effort today.
Ozzy's defensive effort was superb. He covered a lot. Because they had different people, Nagby and Chara running through, and so he ended up sometimes being on Nagby, sometimes on Chara, covering behind. Zizzo at times gave some problems to Leo. At times Leo held him fairly well, but Ozzy was there to assist. So I thought his defensive game was very good. His offensive game, I'm sure he would have liked to have been better.
In your opinion, what would anyone whose first ever MLS game was seen on television, what would they make of MLS if this was the first view of it?
That's it. It's intense. It's competitive. That the atmosphere was tremendous. Obviously, atmosphere is always great here or at our place. The effort of the two teams was fantastic. That you can see it's a very competitive game. It's a man's game. People have to get out there, battle. It's got its physical elements to it. It's got its skillful elements when you look at the goal that Montero scores. And some of the individual play of other players. So I think it had everything. We always complain about not enough goals, but it's really about goal scoring chances. The drama was there with them hitting the post at the end, with us having a very good look from Ozzy at the end. So it had all the elements of what a good sporting event should be.
Did you talk to the guys at all when Ricketts came out to kind of get a shot early like that on Bednick?
Yeah, we had called Steve over, and I said, let's test the goalkeeper early, and so forth. So obviously that was the first shot, and Bendick did well to hold on to Ozzy's shot at the end.
The second straight road game, I think you guys have taken a lead and settled for the 1-1 tie. Is there something that you'd like to see better when you have the lead on the road?
No, it's just trying to think back on the last game. Yeah, I think it's a situation of each game, like I say, takes on its own emphasis. And the Dallas game, they were a very hungry team. We were coming off a game that was difficult, so for us to hang on. And today we played a team. For them, this was their MLS Cup final today. They played and expended the energy that a team would expend in the MLS Cup final. Not to say that you don't want to expend that energy every time you play yourselves, but it's just a little bit different when you're saying, hey, this is it, it's now or never. And they had that now or never attitude, so based on that, it was okay. But I thought once we had the lead, we need to do a better job of managing the game. We needed to do a better job of holding on to the ball. We got complicated sometimes. There was one play in the corner where Leo flicked the ball up to himself and tried to clear it, and Mario tried to flick the ball over the guy, and all of a sudden we're giving up another corner and another corner when really we could have cleared the ball up the field. Those are little things that you got to do well in those moments of the game.
Did the roster freeze with only the Hanneman move?
Yeah, that's what we did.
What does he add for this time? He hasn't had a team in 5 months, but he's got a lot of experience.
Well, his experience, and he'll train and get fit. He's an experienced goalkeeper, and it gives us, obviously some insurance if something were to happen to Michael. We have an experienced backup goalkeeper that we can turn to. And for Marcus, the opportunity to be able to finish his career in Seattle is something that he really wanted. He's a local kid. And I think from that standpoint, it's also a good thing. It shows what our club's all about, and we felt we could make this happen for him, which is something he's wanted to do for a couple of years, but it's never been something we've been able to do. And, so now it's worked out, and also, gives us some depth in that position.
Is the expectation that if he's fit, that he'll be back next year, or at least competing for a spot next year?
Right now, we're just worried about the next 3 months, and then we'll go from there.
Do you have any kind of relationship with him?
With Marcus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to Marcus. Tommy and him have grown up playing together, so they know each other very well. Obviously Schmitz knows him, as well. They played, and I think he might have coached Marcus as well. So, and I know I coached against Marcus when he was at Seattle Pacific and so forth, and I've talked to him numerous times.
Tanzania, the land of Kilimanjaro, Zanzibar, and the Serengeti.